going on, guys? Jeff Kiesel, Kiesel Guitars, Carving Guitars. I'm finishing up my Q&A. So it's probably going to take me a while, and I'm sure my video guy is going to chop these up into a couple different smaller videos just so it's not so intense and you're sitting there for potentially an hour. So anyhow, I'm going to get going. Santos, recently I bought a 93 DC200. It has a hairline crack at the 21st through 22nd fret. I heard you could use super glue on the fingerboard as a filler, but before I do, I thought I'd ask. Yes, you actually can use super glue. What I'd recommend is finding the same fretboard wood. I'm assuming it's probably ebony. And what you can do is you can take a small piece of ebony and a piece of sandpaper, maybe like 280 grit, and sand some of the ebony so you get ebony dust. And you can actually dust and glue the crack in the board. That's how we would repair it here. So hopefully that helps. I'm sure there's also some great YouTube videos, and we should probably do one like that. That'd be a good one. And this is Dragon Craig. Okay, I've got a really good question. Would you consider using a Kahler tremolo on a multi-scale guitar? No, I wouldn't. I don't use Kahlers on the regular guitars, and that Kahler tremolo is ginormous. So no, I don't think I'm going to put one of those on a guitar. It's going to really weigh it down. All right, so we got Strass Shady. Okay, this could sound like a dumb question since I know this is Kiesel Carving Guitars. However, have you ever considered or had an option presented to you to produce synthesizer or keyboard brands? No, man. It's nothing like what we do. I mean, you're talking wood and, I guess creativity, wood and glue versus electronics. I mean, we're not equipped to do anything like that, nor would we really want to. Aaron Crandall, have you ever specifically tested any two of your guitars that differ only in wood choices and hear sonic differences? Absolutely, all the time. We do a lot of testing here, and we do that even with a lot of artists, whether it's Alan Holdsworth or Greg Howe, trying to, fine-tune things. We build several different prototypes out of different woods. Armando, will a single-cut carved top neck-through model ever happen with 7 strings? And will the 7-string carved top headstock ever come back? I don't think we're going to be making a single-cut 7-string carved top. And if we did, I don't think it'd be a neck-through. Let's see here. So for the 7-string carved top headstock, no, I'm not planning on bringing it back. I recently got rid of it, actually. Jerry and Donna, have you ever made a CT6 style weight relieved custom? If so, did it drastically alter its amplified sound? We offer the chambered body option on those, and that shaves anywhere from 3/10 to 6/10 of a pound. So if you're looking to really save weight, I would recommend getting the chambered body option. I'd also recommend maybe going with like a swamp ash body. That's going to cut the weight down dramatically. And yeah, it does change the tone. When you chamber something out, you're going to get a warmer, a little airier tone, not so direct, if that makes sense. SWAT, will you offer more 5-string basses and narrow spacing? We don't sell too many narrow spacing basses. So, I don't know what model you're referring to. We have our LB and our Icon. We offer those two neck throughs in the narrow, but I don't get guys asking me for the narrow spacing. So to be honest, probably not. David, can you carry 11s or at least snag me a set of Diodario 1149s and charge me so I don't have to pay shipping? I don't have to pay to ship them from Chicago? No, everybody's got their own set of strings they like, and for us to try to, carry all different, sorts and styles be really hard for us. So, sorry if you have a build-in and, you mail them, from the post office, you're probably looking at $5. So, we don't charge you to use your customer supplied strings. So, $5 to have your guitar set up with your strings is pretty cheap. So, go ahead and ship them to us if that's what you're after. Tony, does Jeff enjoy being the butt of all those bevel jokes? Hey man, I'm the bevel king, so it is what it is. It's bevel life. Anthony, I know this was mentioned in Q&A a long time ago, but what about Evertune Bridges? Anthony, I'm holding out because I don't like how much material I have to remove in a guitar with those Evertune bridges. I think it kills the tone. Their spacing is also not quite right for me. It's very tight and narrow. So I've talked to the guys at Evertune, very cool guys by the way, and I've let them know that if they make a unit that's more compact with the right string spacing, I'm all about testing it out because I'm not going to do something just to make a buck. I hope you guys can understand and respect that. I'm not going to throw an Evertune on my guitar if I'm not really stoked on it. Having said that, I do think if they make a smaller unit with the right spacing, it's going to be a rad thing, and I'd love to offer it if they do it. So bug them. They'll make it, I'll put it on, and I'll see what I think. Anthony, oh, that was the same dude. Phil, a finish question. I like the look of glossy poly or lacquer finish, but I like the sound of a light or no finish like tung oil, or maybe the thin raw tone finish. Can I get a guitar, or in my case, a bass with multi-finishes? Yes, you can. It's very labor intensive, so it's very expensive. The most expensive would be, like I had my Vader, it was a raw tone back with a gloss top. It's very labor intensive, and I think our upcharge for that's $500 because it literally takes a ton of time to do. Johnny, any chance of having a smaller body, full hollow guitar? I don't know what that means. Is it possible to add an F-hole to the CT24 and make it a semi-hollow? Yeah, that'd be really cool, to have maybe a thicker body CT624 with an F-hole in it. I think that'd be a rad guitar. Something I'd like to take a look at. Adam, since the Hipshot headless saddles seem potentially interchangeable with Graphtec ones, any chance of adding piezo options to the Vaders? It's actually a great question. I have a new module that I'm testing out that would potentially work on a Vader. The big problem with a guitar that's compact and small is you're dealing with smaller routes, smaller cavities, and I can't put our current AS system in a Vader. It's just crammed. So we worked on modifying one, and so far it's working really good. So if I can get that to work real good, then I could talk to Hipshot and Graphtec and see if they're down to make what I need to make that actually happen. So I do think that that is a possibility. Let's see here. Any chance Cote will become a top wood or fretboard option? I'm not sure. I've never used it, so I really can't comment on that. I have been using some Zira Cote recently, and I really like that. So maybe I'll try it out. Have you considered doing a limited run where Kiesel goes back to its roots and reissue some lap steels or mandolin models? I think that would be awesome, and I think my grandfather would be stoked if we did a reissue of a lap steel. It's just one of those projects that would take a tremendous amount of time. And right now with our move coming up, we're planning on moving in 3 to 4 weeks, and all the work we've had to do to get our building ready, and me going on all the new models and all the new options. Something like this is going to be a major undertaking, and I think that it would be rad, and I'd love to do it. So who knows what the future holds. Mandolin, though, I don't see that one happening. Any chance of ever seeing Archtop models with floating pickups one day? With your CNC machines and amazing team, you guys might have potential to revolutionize the Archtop market. Archtops, depending on what you're referring to as an Archtop, we have our SH550, which is a true double carved top. So the top is carved on the inside before we glue it on, and then the top is carved on the outside, so it maintains the same thickness. The problem traditionally with Archtops, where you're actually taking a flat piece of wood and bending it, is over time that wood's going to want to return to zero. And they crack, not all of them, but they have a tendency to crack, lift, and you have problems with them. So if we ever did something like that, it would have to be a true double carved top. I don't see us bending the tops like that.